Run that track. From the streets of Wuhan to the water in the Amazon and Milan. I put the ass in quarantine. No more hanging out with Grandma Irene.
Welcome to our new segment, the Quarantine Queue, where we'll be lining up this week's past news for Quarantine You, hosted by your one and only Quarantine Jew. Let's get right to it. Former Vice President Joe Biden wants to give Trump advice on how to handle the coronavirus outbreak. An inside source says Biden will draw from his own experience, reflecting on how he survived the 1918 Spanish flu. While many athletic competitions have been canceled due to the virus, one British man kept in shape by running a marathon in his own backyard. His next challenge is the upcoming triathlon, using his stationary bike and his bathtub. The Supreme Court rejected extending Wisconsin's voting deadline on Monday, bringing a literal meaning to the phrase, "give me liberty" or "give me death." Thanks to the huge increase in video meetings, there's a fashion trend toward dressing your top but ignoring your bottom. "What took you so damn long?" commented fashion pioneer Squidward Tentacles. Anyone who interacts with the president will be given a coronavirus test beforehand. This is, of course, assuming they failed their first test, competency. If you utter the word coronavirus in Turkmenistan, there's a good chance you'll be arrested. This has been no rare feat, though, as another word that they have banned in the past to avoid conflict has been Voldemort. We're lucky to be joined tonight by one of the hottest faces in the world right now. Fresh off his hit single, Started from the Bottom of a Bat. Now we're here. Please welcome COVID-19.
Thank you. Boo you. I swear to God, I'll infect you. I'm coming for you after the show.
So, COVID, could you talk a little bit about your upbringing and how you've risen over the past few months?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me on, Ethan. I know I've been getting a lot of negative press lately, but, I grew up in the streets of Wuhan. We were very poor, always moving from host to host, although that is part of the field. My parents, COVID 5 and 6, they raised me to never, ever give up on my dreams. And I think I took a lot of that with me on this journey. So, I started, I was perusing the streets one day as I do, looking for a host, and boom, I see a dead bat there on the ground. I hop in that dead bat. Next thing you know, I'm being taken somewhere. I'm in a wet market. Money, that's every virus's dream. Next thing you know, I'm being taken off a shelf. Next thing you know, I'm in a guy's home. Next thing you know, I'm being chopped up. And next thing you know, I'm inside someone. It all happened so fast. And at that moment, when I was in patient zero, I knew I had made it.
Wow. And were there any role models from your days growing up in Wuhan that you looked up to?
Yeah, absolutely. That would definitely have to be the Black Plague. He's kind of the OG in our industry, took out 66% of the population, which are numbers really unheard of for our industry. Do you have a dream host? Anyone in particular that's kind of the top of the list that you want to infect? Dream host. Well, yeah, I already checked off Harvey Weinstein. He was top of the list. Not a nice guy. Next up, though, you know who I'm going for, Ethan? This might surprise you a little bit. Pitbull. I'm going for Pitbull because his music is so bad that it makes me want to quarantine and never touch a human again. I mean, if you guys blasted that stuff in the streets, I'd be out in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. Now, so I heard, coming off your big single, I heard you brought a little taste for your next solo that's going to come out shortly. I brought a little taste if you want to hear it. Yeah, we'd love to. Run that track. From the streets of Wuhan to to the water in the Amazon and Permalon. I put the ass in quarantine. No more hanging out with Grandma Irene. Trump's in to take hydroxychloroquine, but that won't work on me. I'm more deadly than a missile submarine, but my skin is lime green and my string is pretty mean. Got you taking so many drugs, call you Charlie Sheen. I got Tom Hanks, then I shut down the banks. Can't go to the bars, no more drinks. I got influenza to thank, causing a global financial crisis worse than the Great Recession, the Great Depression, but not as much chaos as this here jam session.
Coronavirus, everyone.
Thank you.
Let me go wash my hands real quick. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has officially been released from intensive care treatment. His first meal? Everything. The Queen delivered a rare rallying cry to fight the coronavirus. An inside source confirmed the Queen said, "Why don't we just invite the virus over for some tea and work things out?" Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, dismissed concerns from infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci on an unproven coronavirus drug while touting his own qualifications as a social scientist. This was just after Navarro bragged about his expertise as a social distancer by citing his political record of being an isolationist. The singer Pink has been diagnosed with COVID-19. Her residence is now officially no fun house. Reports have shown that those with diabetes, heart disease, and respiratory illnesses are at a heightened risk to coronavirus. Charles Darwin commented, "Told you so." It was recently reported that one of Trump's aides warned the president of the potential severity of the virus back in January. The title of the memo? "Sir, we're fucked." Donald Trump said that despite coronavirus, he expects the NFL season will start on time in September, bringing a whole new meaning to the term fantasy football. From Quarantine Q, I'm your host, Ethan Gomberg, and have a good night.